As the COVID-19 lockdown continues in the UK, let's have a look at what's happening with some of the government support measures that have been announced over the last few weeks and now finally are starting to come into play for a number of businesses and employees around the UK. So, first thing to look at is the furlough scheme went active on the 20th of April, and it's fair to say that a lot of businesses took up the option of furloughing their employees in a very short space of time. HMRC reports that to Thursday the 23rd of April they had 430,000 businesses make application under the furlough scheme for 3.2 million workers to be put on furlough, effectively paying 80% of their salary up to 2,500. Now, we've seen that the majority of claims for that seem to have gone through. There seems to be a grey area with some people who are furloughing directors of companies, especially with companies that might run a once yearly payroll, and that looks to be the interpretation of how HMRC has read the legislation from the government. If you are in doubt, speak to your accountant or tax advisor in relation to this. And I know that a couple of tax advisors have already said that they're writing to MPs and encouraging business owners to do that as well if they are running a kind of director's salary scheme with a once a year kind of payroll update, to write to their MPs, because this is one of the things that the government says the furlough scheme was designed for. However, HMRC seem to be not honouring some of those claims at this stage. It's a very specific area of the market though, so it is worth you speaking to your accountant or tax advisor to see if you're affected in relation to that. We've also seen quite a lot of uptake of small businesses with the small business grants. This is linked to businesses who have physical premises. So they do look at what you were paying on business rates or whether you qualified for business rate relief previously. Councils saying that they have had 500,000 applications for small business grants of between 10 and 25,000, and that they are processing and paying out those grants at the moment. So quite a bit of support there for business as well. And we come to coronavirus business interruption loans, still plagued by problems at the moment. The government is saying they've had 36,000 fully completed applications, and of those 16,600 have been funded at the moment. From the finance industry though, the real issue here is over 300,000 inquiries have been made in relation to this, and the problem still is that the actual application of these out in the marketplace is not really doing what it was intended to do. So still a request for more government support in this regard, and maybe some pressure on lenders to make these loans a little bit more flexible. At this stage, a lot of people still reporting that it's easier to qualify for maybe standard business finance with someone like a Funding Circle or Lending Crowd, or even some of the big banks, than it is to qualify for the CBILS loans at this stage. What we have seen though is a lot of finance brokers who may traditionally operate in the mortgage and remortgage area are also skilling themselves to be able to deal with these CBILS loans as well. So if you do have a business that looks like it may qualify for some of these grants or loans, it's worth reaching out to your current finance broker to see if they can help you qualify for them, or otherwise get in touch with some of the people around you who can support you as well. We're obviously here to help. We can provide some coaching and training if that will help you with accessing some of these things, and we also have access to professionals who are used to dealing with this arena and can potentially help you with funding for any businesses you might have that are maybe non-property related, that are active in the service sector, that might qualify for either grants, CBILS funding, or potentially you can look at furloughing some of your employees.